So marketing agencies are not your friend, but neither are they your enemies. They are just simply businesses that will do the bare minimum if they can, unless you know how to spot the red flags. So with that said, here are the 7 most common red flags. So probably the biggest red flag I see marketing agencies doing is reporting on the unimportant metrics. So if you see a report starting with impressions or clicks or CTR or anything else that's just acquisition or conversion, that's a huge red flag, because impressions, clicks, most importantly CTR, is a metric for them to be able to optimize your ad and to get as many conversions as possible. But for you, the bottom line is conversions matter the most. Only conversions matter at the end of the day. The absolutely worst out of this is when they report on impressions. It's like saying, okay, we made your billboard, 50,000 people, cars went by it, but they are not going to tell you that nobody bought anything from your business. I mean, it's the same with the clicks as well. So like somebody went into your store, you paid for that visit $8, let's say, but that person didn't buy anything. That's just a net loss for you. If the agency focuses mainly on conversions, CPA, then that is a green flag and you should keep working with that agency. So red flag number 2 is when they just cheat with the numbers. So what I mean by that, okay, let's say they are reporting on the conversions, so on the right metrics, the relevant metrics for you, but they can still cheat it, to be honest. If they include branded keywords in that report, and they don't separate new customers and, customers that just searched for your brand name and your product and clicked on the ad, then that's a huge red flag, because they try to inflate your numbers. So usually what a good agency does is that they primarily target new audience. So they exclude your branded keywords, so your ad is not showing up when they search for your brand name and your product, let's say. Because those people who search for these terms would buy from you anyways without seeing your ad. Don't get me wrong, sometimes it makes sense. When you have a competition and your competition is bidding on your brand keywords, then it's absolutely necessary. But 9 times out of 10, it's really not. So what can you do is just ask for the search term report to see which keywords generated the most amount of conversions, and then decide from that if it makes sense for you or not. But if they just group it together, the branded and new customers, then you just have to leave that agency, because they're trying to scam you basically. So red flag number 3 is thankfully not that common anymore, but it used to be super common, which is basically the agency is owning your company, is owning your tag manager. And why that's a huge red flag is because if they own your ad account, if you don't even have access to that, if you're not even an admin to that, first of all, you cannot see how they perform. You cannot see your own ads that you pay for. But second of all, you're kind of trapped to work with that agency because they own your historical data and they own your ads, which shouldn't be the case. You see, Google Ads nowadays is just a huge machine learning black box, and you don't just buy ads from Google, you actually invest in that machine learning. You invest in the generated data. So if the agency owns your account and you leave that agency, then you will have to start from zero, from scratch. And that is a huge step back. So usually what you should do is create the Google Ads account yourself, and you invite them as admins. If the whole relationship between you and the agency doesn't work out, you still got the data, you still got the ads, you still got the tag manager, and you should just be able to find another agency to work with or just manage it yourself. Red flag number 4 is actually quite common, and that is the mentality of just set it and forget it. A lot of agencies just set up the ads, set up the account, and they just don't touch it for months and they just let it run. They might tell you that the AI needs time to gather data, but that's only partially true. They still have to manage it at least week by week. So what you can do to actually prevent this is go to your Google Ads account and just check the change history in the account and see what they're changing day by day or week by week. Let's say that you see some logs there, which is okay, but then check also the negative keyword list. If they are adding to that, check also what kind of keywords they are using, because if they are using broad matches, that's usually fine if they use negative keywords. But the biggest red flag is if you go to the change history in Google Ads and you don't see anything, then they're just basically taking your money, the monthly retainer, and they don't do anything other than reporting. Also, just to add to this red flag, the fourth one, usually marketing agencies should really care about the landing page experience as well. Landing page experience, I would say, has a 40% to 50% effect on the success of your ads. If they do not talk about the landing pages or any, criticism about your landing page or any ideas how to change it, then that's a red flag as well. Red flag number 5 is how they communicate with you and also who in the agency manages your account. So usually whoever signs you as a client for the agency is a very well-spoken, articulate person with a lot of experience, which is nice. They want to sell this service to you, right? But the reality is that other people manage your account, not that person, and those other people might be just 20-year-old fresh graduates who manage 30 other accounts as well. And also they can just pass your account to other team members as well every week. So nobody really knows what's going on in your account. They just look at the basic data and decide what they're going to do from that. It's something like seeing a new therapist every week. Nobody really knows what's going on. So if you get just a PDF or a presentation every month of reporting, it can be nice to see that, if it's well designed, etc. But you should be able to ask, what did you actually do with my account last month? And if they cannot answer this simple question, that means that they are really messy with the management. And you're really better off just passing your Google Ads account to a freelancer who really cares about your account and your ads and your results. And also a big one here, if they always say that they crushed it this month, the numbers are perfect, then that's another huge red flag, because it just doesn't happen. It's not realistic. Like, there are always some issues, a new competitor shows up, a keyword spend a lot of money. There are always issues that you need to work on. So if they just brag about how good they are every month, then that's a red flag in itself as well. So red flag number 6 is with the contract and the pricing. If on the onboarding you see a 12-month contract with a cancellation fee, run. No good agencies do this anymore. Every good agency runs month by month because they're confident that they can deliver. The only agencies they will try to force you into a 12-month contract with a cancellation fee are the bad ones. So first of all, don't do that. Second of all, if you see that they charge by the percentage of the ad spend, then that's a red flag again, because it kind of encourages them to spend more of your money, and kind of they will come up with reasons why you should spend more always, and it just scammy. It's something like you hire a contractor that charges by the percentage of the cost of the project. That contractor, believe me, will find every problem possible. That contractor will discover any issue there is, and you just don't want to have business with them. Also, I think this is quite obvious, but also if you spend, let's say, $300 per month for the services of the agency, then you can be 100% sure that they are not the ones who actually will manage your Google ad account. Usually they will just give the job to a person in India or Bangladesh or Pakistan. I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with that, but first of all, that's just dishonest. Second of all, usually the expertise in these countries are not as high as in Western countries. So red flag number 7 is when they just don't ask about very, crucial information, such as who's your ideal customer, what's the lifetime budget, or if they just don't ask about the whole sales process, like, are the leads coming from phone, are they coming from forums, do you even have a CRM, or probably the most important, What's the conversion tracking like? Is it properly set up? They need to check that. That's just step number one. And also, very importantly, a good agency always audits your old account, because it's full of very useful information which can actually help them a lot, like what ad copy works for you, what the landing page looks like, what's the CTR on that landing page, or what were the negative keywords in your old account. And usually to have a full audit of your old account, it takes about at least a few days. I would say even a week. So if you see that your new ads from the new agency are live in 24 hours or 48 hours, that's a red flag. So yeah, I hope none of these red flags apply for your current agency, but if at least some of these do, then try to confront them, and if needed, then change them. But yeah, I hope that this helped.